Hey guys, this is a Barrows guide, and we're taking a look at uh, the combat task for Barrows. We're going to look more into Can't Touch Me more than the other ones. The other ones are pretty straightforward. Um, so, right now, we will take a look at how to do the run, kind of how to kite around the meleeers so you don't get hit. And then just to start out, we'll look at kind of the stuff you want to have in your inventory or need. Um, so, so right now we're just looking at uh, what gear you should probably bring. Normal void is fine. You don't have to have anything super expensive. Um, but just running void, a lot of people have blood bark. It doesn't really matter. Just some magic gear just to give yourself a better chance at actually hitting them. I run the Twin Flame Staff. You can run the Nightmare Staff or whatever you want to bring. You could even bring a Mystic Smoke Staff, a Powered Staff. Doesn't really matter. As long as if you have access to wind spells and or tangled spells, you can bring Ancients and use ice spells. That's perfectly fine. Um, we are just going to be using the standard spellbook for this run, then this guide. I have Elite Void. I'm bringing the Fire Cape. I don't have the imbued God Capes for Magic. I just haven't done that yet. The Fire Cape does give prayer bonus. Prayer bonus is going to be your friend here because the crypt itself is already draining your prayer. So any extra prayer you can save is going to be your friend. Um, don't forget your spade. If you do forget your spade, up here at the Barrows area, there's a little shack right here. There's a spade right here, and you can grab it. It's not a big deal. Um, to get here, there's a few ways. You will always need Priest in Peril completed. There's no other way about it. If you have to run here, you can go from a rock, and then just run into the Patadermis basement here. Then it'll come out to here. Then you'll come down, and then come in this little gate here, run all the way south, do the little loop-de-loop, and then come to the Barrow section here. If you are looking for a better, more efficient way, um, getting an aid of Myrique done so you have access to Berg de Rot for a bank is great. Also, doing Shades of Morton so you have the group teleport to teleport you right here is perfect as well. You can buy Morton teleports from the Grand Exchange or get them from Clue Scrolls. They're about 15,000 GP right now. At the time of this, I don't really recommend it. You don't really make that much money back. And then if you have fairy rings, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do BKR, run to this rowboat. You have to have done an aid of Myrique in order to use this rowboat. This rowboat will take you straight here and then right here. Perfect. Also, there is a BIP fairy ring, and you can jump across this at 50 agility. And then you still have to do this little loop-de-loop, make it into Morton, and you're here. Now, there is this right here. It's the Myrique hideout. It takes you underneath, and you have to run all the way up right here, up to this map link, and it brings you to here. Vice versa, going here down to here. It's a little dumb. I just prefer if you've already got this access, you have access to this. It's just easier just to come here. The group teleport, you have the group teleport in your right here, the minigame teleport here, or the actual grouping right here, and the Shades of Morton grouping teleport. You just scroll down, come down to the grouping teleport, find Shades of Morton, click it, and hit the teleport option here. It will take you to this section right here, and then you just run east. I don't really care about thralls during the Barrows. It's not really worth it, so I wouldn't even be on the Arceus spellbook. Ancients or standard spellbook work perfect here. They are weak to wind spells. You do not have to bring the appropriate combat style, so you don't have to bring melee for Carol and ranged for Aram. You don't have to do that. They still take damage just as good with magic regardless. So if your spellbook looks similar to mine, where it's all jumbled up, you can come down to the filters, turn off your teleports, your utilities, and the show spells you lack the runes to cast. Turn that off. It will make your spellbook look a lot like this. You will need to manual cast your freezes, unless you're on the ancients. Then you just use your ice spells the whole fight. Now, you can use the twin flame staff. If you're going to use the twin flame staff, make sure you're only using the waves or under. So blasts, waves, bolts. If you can do it with wind strike, I wouldn't recommend it. Take forever, but you can. If you're running wind bolt, you can use the chaos gauntlets, wherever they are, right here. They'll up your damage probably to about to like 25 or 27. So it is definitely viable. You just won't be able to use your void because of the glove replacement. So something like Aram's, Mystics, Blood Bark, Split Bark, Lunar, doesn't really matter. Just some kind of magic gear. Now, if you're just trying to save money, if you don't really care, just to get the combat achievements done, all that stuff, Wind Wave's perfect. If you're not running the Twin Flame Staff and you have access, run Wind Surge. It's going to do a lot of damage, probably around 60. I think it's around like 60 something damage. So that is how you are going to set up your gear. Now, you don't need a lot of food. You won't be taking, hopefully, any damage. The food's really only there if you screw up and get hit by like DH or something like that. He hits you like a 58 or something like that. The prayer, if you don't have, so let's say I just have this ward. You don't have to bring a ward if you have a spell book like the Holy Book or the Book of Darkness. Something to give you a little bit of extra prayer bonus or magic attack bonus or both. That works just fine. However, you just got to remember that you will be taking about 8 points of, I think it's like 10% of your max prayer per 15 seconds. If you do not have your Gommel Hilt 2, 3, or 4 equipped during this Barrows raid. So here we will be wearing the Gommel Hilt for this event. All right, now that we are here at the Barrows location, right here, if you have never done Barrows before, there's a strange old man. You've got to talk to him, and then he'll allow you to go into the crypts. In the top right over here on my minimap, there shows these letters. If you do not have those letters, you do not have the Barrows Brother plugin turned on. Just go ahead and turn that on. It'll help you throughout the deal, especially this little puzzle answer down in the crypt. Now, I always start with Varric because he's the only one that hits through prayer. So we're going to look at the Can't Touch This combat achievement real quick. When you are down here, as soon as you enter this crypt right here by digging with your spade, it will automatically start a prayer drain. You have every 15 seconds. So every short period of time, just know that you're going to get hit prayer points and they're going to drain. If you have the Gommel Hilt 2 or above equipped, it will not drain your prayer. If you do not have this, then you just got to kill them fast. Right here, I always stand at the foot of the sarcophagus, and then I have my prayer or my magic book open, and then I will be ready to cast my freeze spell, entangle or whatever. And then as soon as you hit the sarcophagus, you have two options. One, the guy will spawn, then you run the opposite direction and freeze them. Two, it will take you, it says that you will be taken down into the crypt. If this is your first person, just remember who it was, and then go back outside and go to the other sarcophaguses. So let's look to see what I got. So I have Varix. So I run away, freeze him, and then get to where you can run straight across. Because if you'll probably not kill him fast enough for his freeze. About one more. Freeze him again. Right there. Boom. Boom. There we are. That is how you do the can't touch this. You'll do that for each melee guy. So you've got Dharix next. If you are not comfortable with fighting or doing this method, then you are afraid you're going to get hit. Protect from melee against Dharix at all times. He is the only one you have to worry about, because at low HP, his max hit's like a 58. So it can hit hard. So you're up here, just run, freeze. Try not to go too high, because you have to be able to lure them around. Now there. Let's get him to start moving back. As soon as he rounds that corner, freeze again. There, super easy. If you aren't killing him as fast, don't worry. You just have to get a little bit better at freezing the moving target. So even if you do fail and he does hit you, still practice your freezing a moving target, because it'll just make you better. It'll make you better at the whole game. There's lots of bosses that you have to deal with manually casting stuff. So I always like going to the foot in, like I was saying. Do your melees first, just because if you fail, you fail. It's not a big deal. Go here. Freeze. Attack. Now, if you want a little bit better, because you can't really see him, you can tag or tag all. You get about 3 hits in. See, he hit a 0. For some reason, my guy didn't want to freeze that, which is fine. But still get the practice in. Boop. And then Thorax, which is the 4 corners. You don't have to be all the way on the top to go down. Spellbook. Boop. Freeze. Thorax is typically the easiest because he has the highest defense and lowest magic defense. You can lure him around if you feel comfortable without freezing him and just kind of run, wait for him to hit, or to get over, and you can lure him like this. If you don't have access to freezes or don't want to spend the money. Now, once you have that done, you have the Arims. I like you doing Arims first. I don't know why. It just makes it a little bit interesting for me, I guess. Definitely, it doesn't really matter on Arims and Carol where you start. You don't have to start at the foot. I like starting at the foot for the melee just because there's usually more room to start running around. And then when you get ready to open this sarcophagus, just make sure you have Protect from Magic on. If it says this little dialogue down here, you have found a hidden tunnel, do you want to enter? If you don't care about loot, go ahead and enter. If you care about your loot, which is really the only reason you're here, unless you're just doing combat achievements. But if you're Iron Man, definitely loot. There's no reason. And then go back to the last one. So for me, it's Cairo. Turn on Protect from Ranged. And then you'll still use magic. You don't have to worry about melee unless you're trying to do the special attack achievement as well. I would do that in a different run. It just, if you get too much going on, you're going to start getting confused. And then you just go into the next one. All right, now that we have 5 out of the 6 brothers, you see this little potential down here. It says 56.13%. That is just how much loot you're going to get at the end, and the chance at rarities. Now you can go straight to the sarcophagus that takes you into the crypt if you want. All it does is just locks you out of your other Barrows brothers loot tables. That's all it does. So if you're wanting best potential here, get this to 86%. The way to do that, I think it's 1 bloodworm and 2 skeletons, something like that. There is an actual wiki thing. I can look it up and put it in here. But if you just kill 2 bloodworms, just if you're getting hit, just pray melee. There you go. It'll tell you. So that was 5% increase. Just hit. Don't go up to 86% until you kill your 6th Barrows brother. We are trying to find the door. So this door here, that will get us to get us into Alright, now that we are here, sometimes your last Barrows brother will appear in a corridor or into the main room that you enter. Sometimes it's with melee and you won't get that achievement for Don't Touch Me unless you can get it in the sarcophagus room or in the main entry room. So if you open this, you'll see a puzzle. The reason you want this plugin here is for this puzzle. Doesn't really matter about anything else. You can see every time I get attacked, it gets me out and it resets this puzzle. This is why you want it, because you don't have a lot of time between attacks, like 5 tick attacks. Also depending on if you're being attacked by crypt spiders or something like that. Now, if you get this wrong, if I was to click the wrong one, it resets this whole crypt and you have to find your entrance again. It's annoying. Just get it correct the first time. So you'll get the correct one, open the door. All right, so here we are. As soon as I open this chest, the Aram, see how it's X'd out, he will be the person to attack me. So I will protect magic, open the chest, kill Aram. Now, Aram does lower stats. Just be mindful. He lowers my strength 89 out of 99. He has a chance of lowering your magic. So if you're barely grinding by on your 62 attack for wind or a magic for wind, definitely bring a stat restore to get your level back up. So after that, I'm at 78%. I would have to go kill another skeleton, which I can. So I'll just go back here, kill this skeleton. Puts me at 86%. So 1 bloodworm and 2 skeletons. Then you open this chest, gives you your items. Any more than 86%, and it gives you the chance to get bolt racks, which take away from your unique chance because it gives you an extra roll on a different loot table. And if you're looking for the actual drops, then that's what you'll do. And you do have a chance to get an elite scroll box. I obviously didn't because I have some in my bank already. Now you have to actually exit the ladder that you came in. So you have to kind of remember your way around this crypt. I messed up and I went through this room, and you just run through the outside here. And only one will have a ladder, but if you look here, once you open the chest, you do kind of have to hurry back. Rocks will fall on you. But there's a, so like that, see how the rocks fell on me? Because your crypt is starting to crumble. Each room has a ladder, though it would be invisible. You can lure, so like if I was to go in here and I had a melee guy, you can actually stand on the opposite side of your invisible ladder, and he cannot walk through that tile. So you can actually shoot through an invisible ladder, and he cannot stand on that tile. I don't know if it's a glitch, what happened, but the ladders are always there, just not always visible. So you can lure your boss to the other side so you don't actually get hit. It's interesting. Then you just go all the way back out. And that is the run. That is one run. And then once you leave completely, whether you teleport or go out the way I did, you actually will reset all the rooms, and then you can go back in for another dive. So I think that's it. We can look at some other combat achievements here. The hardest one is Can't Touch Me. The others, they're really straightforward, just only dealing special attack damage. This, you just don't take any damage from anybody. So on this one, I recommend kiting Varric if you're only just kiting Varric, and because he does hit through prayer. Everything else, Faithless Run. This one's kind of hard. Kiting them again will really help on this. You just have to be a little bit better, because especially against Daharix, because he will hit you. So don't get hit. Everything else is, like I said, super straightforward. I haven't done this one yet as of this video. I've only got just 19. I just don't do Barrows very often, so. But that is the guide. If you have any extra things you need, if you want me to touch up on a little bit more of this particular one, just be like that, or any of these others, just let me know. You can comment on this in the Discord that this will be posted in, or just ping me somewhere in the Discord and be fine. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other suggestions or questions, just feel free to reach out.